Beautiful Sunday evening to you, and I welcome you to another edition of your extraordinarily attention-grabbing production of Sunday Extra with Olushayo Babasunde. Sunday Extra, as usual, is a combination of varieties of different news packages in hard and soft characteristics to spice off your Sunday evening from the stable of the News and Current Affairs Department of OSBC Radio 104.5, Voice of the West, Nigeria. On Sunday Extra today, maximum enjoyment is our primary assignment, and so I promise that this week's edition is not going to be an exception, as we have, as usual, packaged again section by section for your listening pleasure. On this week's edition of Sunday Extra, President Muhammadu Buhari has commended Nigerians living in the United States for the exemplary roles they are playing in their different areas of endeavor, urging them to continue in that line to earn the respect of their hosts. In another climb, officials of the All Progressives Congress, the APC, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and the Labour Party and others are now working round the clock to commence their campaigns ahead of next year's general elections. Under the timetable rolled out by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, the parties and their presidential flag bearers, as well as other people seeking positions, are free to start canvassing for votes publicly from this week. The APC, which announced a 422-member presidential campaign council to sell its candidate, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, will kickstart its campaign this week with a prayer session in Abuja. And the PDP is yet to pick a specific date for the commencement of its own campaign. The party sources told journalists that consultations are still in progress to firm up the party's plan on its campaign. And in the Afghan week, Director General, Nigerian Institute of Leather and Science Technology, Mohammed Yakubu, set tongues wagging with his declaration that consumption of pomo will be banned in the country. Adeyemi Abodere takes us on a ride on its findings when he sought Nigerians' opinions. Once again, this is Sunday Extra, getting to you live from the broadcasting village of OSBC. First of all, let me give you the headlines or the head news before moving to the main bulletin as Sunday Extra reports. President Buhari salutes Nigerians excelling in the diaspora. The National Association of Nigerian Students threatens massive protest. And Police Service Commissioner sends deadline for job applications. And Sunday Extra seeks Nigerians' reactions on proposed ban on pomo by the federal government of Nigeria. And now, the news in full. President Muhammadu Buhari has commended Nigerians living in the United States for the exemplary roles they are playing in their different areas of endeavor, urging them to continue with that line to earn the respect of their hosts. Speaking at the town hall meeting with Nigerians in the diaspora in New York, President Buhari explains gladness that many Nigerians in the USA have continued to excel in their careers, leading to some being appointed into the cabinet of President Joe Biden. He emphasized absolute necessity that every Nigerian in diaspora to continue to remain law-abiding as they live in the United States and comport themselves in such exemplary manners that will earn them the privilege of references as good ambassadors of Nigeria. The president said his administration created the Nigerian Diaspora Commission to serve as a bridge between them and the country in his developmental agenda, with expectations that they will give back to the country. He gave assurance that the government will continue to act in their interests whenever the need arises, citing recent evacuations in Libya, South Africa, and recently in Ukraine. He added that he had also approved the same in UAE and in India. The president commended them for diaspora remittances, which stood at $20 billion in 2021, an amount 4 times the foreign direct investment in the same period, as well as their investment in various sectors of the Nigerian economy. And back home in Osun, the Chief Press Secretary to Governor Adegboyega Tola, Mr. Ismail Omikpidon says the decision by the governor to challenge the outcome of the July 16 Osun governorship poll should never be seen as an attempt to question the integrity of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Speaking with journalists today, Mr. Omikpidon expressed confidence in the ability of the members of the tribunal to do justice in the case before it. He noted that the outcome would go a long way in making INEC fill some gaps that might have been noticed ahead of the 2023 general elections. According to him, Governor Yetola's decision to challenge the outcome of the election should rather be commended, as each was aimed at deepening the country's democratic values and its electoral system. He appeals to all APC supporters to remain calm and resist the temptation to precipitate crisis by members of the opposition. Officials of the All Progressives Congress APC, the People's Democratic Party PDP, Labour Party LP, and others are now working round the clock to commence their campaigns ahead of next year's general elections. Under the timetable rolled out by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), the parties and their presidential flag bearers, as well as those seeking elected positions, are free to start canvassing for votes publicly from this week. APC, which announced a 422-member presidential campaign council to sell its candidates at Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, will kickstart its campaign with a prayer section in Abuja. Similar prayers will be held simultaneously at the campaign offices in all the states of the Federation. Meanwhile, the PDP is yet to pick a specific date for the commencement of its own campaign. Party sources told newsmen that consultations are still in progress to firm up the party's plan on its campaign. The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps is to deploy 30,000 operatives to ensure peace during the upcoming general elections in Nigeria. Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation, is built for another general election starting on February 25 next year, when the President, Vice President, and National Assembly elections members will be elected. A crowded field of 18 political parties are expected to field candidates in the landmark election, viewed by analysts to be a three-horse race between the Labour Party, the People's Democratic Party, and the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC). Speaking at a forum in Abuja today, the Commandant General of the NSCDC, Dr. Ahmed Audi, said the operatives will be deployed nationwide to maintain pace. According to him, the NSCDC has perfected plans to deploy all resources needed to provide security during the election. Dr. Audi said the Corps had also perfected plans to begin seminars and workshops in October to discuss the preparedness of the organization for the general elections. The National Association of Nigerian Students (NANS) has threatened to stage a massive protest in the South that will be worse than EndSARS if the strike by the Academic Staff Union of Universities (ASU) lingers. Addressing a briefing in Uyo, the South coordinator NANS Zone B, Comrade Kings Tamara Preye, revealed that the association will stop at nothing until students return to their various schools. Tamara Preye threatened that the next lines of actions by the students may be worse than the EndSARS protest, vows that the entire country will be shut down. He expressed the readiness of the association to cripple the economy if the federal government fails to return lecturers to the classrooms. He, however, called on ASU body to honor the court order of reopening the institutions and appealed to the federal government to, as a matter of urgency, subscribe to the demands of ASU. The federal government has been urged to fulfill the parts of the 2009 agreement with the Academic Staff Union of Universities (ASU) so as to put an end to the 7-month-old nationwide strike in the interest of the students. A guest lecturer at an event, Sheikh Maruf Idiako, gave the charge at the 10th year anniversary of Al-Fatihu Al-Qarib Muslim Organization of Nigeria, Okejetu, Owode branch, held at Agoayo Ilesha Garage in Oshogbo. Olaide Adegbenro was there for OSBC News.
Members of Al-Fatul Korib Muslim Organization of Nigeria, OKJ2 Owode branch, gathered today at Aguayo, Ilesha Garage, Osogbo to celebrate their 10th-year anniversary launching of the branch mosque Tobanin Award ceremony. In his welcome address, the chairman of the branch, Alhaji Tajuddin Adetunji, commended the efforts of the executive member towards the progress and development of the organization in the last 10 years. Alhaji Adetunji stressed that he felt elated about all developments so far and urged everyone present to contribute to building of the mosque. He noted that the mosque was proposed to be completed at the rate of 10 million naira, out of which 2 million naira has been spent so far.
I feel elated, I feel happy. We are marking the 10th year anniversary of the branch, and thank God we are launching our mosque, which is 16 by 16 feet, and we propose sum of 10 million for it, and that is what we are doing. For being so wonderful, they've been coming. They've been abiding with the teachings of Islam.
While addressing the gathering, the chief missioner of the branch, Ustaz Bazir Ghazali, who congratulated the award recipients and Tobanis, also appreciated them for their support towards the organization. In his lecture, the guest lecturer, Sheikh Maruf Idiako, appealed to the members of the association and Nigerians in general to pray to Almighty Allah to choose a good leader for the country come 2023. He also appealed to the federal government to fulfill its own part on the agreement with ASU. The event climaxed with the donation of cash to banning an award presentation. For OSBC News, this is Olaide Adegbenro reporting.
Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project (SERAP) has sued President Muhammadu Buhari over the agreement between Nigeria and the United States for the repatriated $23 million stolen by late General Sani Abacha. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami San, is a respondent in the suit. The agreement signed in August follows the $311 million Abacha loot returned by America in 2020. In suit filed at the Federal High Court Abuja, SERAP is asking the court to direct the President and Malami to make the details public. The body wants to know the mechanisms put in place to ensure that the repatriated funds are not mismanaged, diverted, or restolen. SERAP noted that the repatriated money is vulnerable to mismanagement as a substantial part of the estimated $5 billion returned Abacha loot since 1999 remains unaccounted for. In his bid to tackle corrupt practices in the society, the chairman, Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICFAC), Professor Bolaji Owasoye San, is seeking collaboration with traditional rulers and religious leaders, addressing traditional religious leaders and civil society organizations at a one-day sensitization dialogue. The ICPC bells admonished stakeholders to use their influence to reduce corruption at the grassroots. Represented by the retired Assistant Inspector General of Police, Olubenga Adeyanju, Owasonye told the traditional rulers that they will come face to face with revelations from the constituency and executive project tracking initiative embarked upon by the ICPC, which perhaps will shock them as they realize the extent to which corruption has shortchanged the entire society. He noted that these revelations will underscore why every core value of the ethics and integrity policy should be imbibed, practiced, and upheld by all, and why the monarchs as leaders should deepen their partnership with the ICPC in diminishing corruption and using their good offices in building a better Nigeria. Meanwhile, the special advisor to Governor Adegbego Oyetola, Evangelist Razak Adeosun, declared that collaboration between ICPC and traditional rulers was long overdue and could help reduce corruption across the country. The Police Service Commission (PSC) says it has extended the deadline for the ongoing 2022 Constables Recruitment application by 1 month. This was disclosed by the spokesperson for the Commission, Ikechukwu Ani. The Commission originally schedules to close its recruitment portal tomorrow. It said the portal will remain open to applicants until the 26th of next month to give enough time to all interested applicants. The Police Service Commission spokesperson appealed to all eligible applicants who are yet to apply and are interested to take advantage of the extension. Annie maintained that the Commission is committed to ensuring that nobody interested in pursuing a career in the Nigerian police force will be denied the opportunity. He noted that the Commission will not deviate from its established policy or conducting transparent and merit-driven police recruitment. He further added that applications are free. The Lagos State Police Command has intercepted 2 commercial buses loaded with a large quantity of live cartridges. Also found were 3 dismantled motorcycles and some personal effects. Lagos Police Public Relations Officer Benjamin Hussein announced that 3 suspects were arrested by the police operatives at an estate in a Jede Road in Ikorodu. The spokesman said a preliminary investigation showed that the trio were on their way to Katsina State, stating that the recovered exhibits as well as the vehicles with registration numbers KMC 3438YK and KMC 394XF have been impounded. Hundein added that the matter has been transferred to the Lagos State Command headquarters in Ikeja for further investigation. In the same vein, the Lagos State Police Command has confirmed the death of a 21-year-old Michael Arigbabuwo who lost his life at a birthday party after allegedly mixing 2 hard drugs for maximum effect. The Police Public Relations Officer in Lagos State, SP Benjamin Hussein, disclosed this in a statement. Hussein, who confirmed the arrest of 3 of the victims' friends, said the incident happened in the Ikorodu area of Lagos. The suspects claimed that the deceased allegedly smoked loud and drank cocaine at a birthday party of one of their friends held at the Gbogbo area of Ikorodu. The one used against drug abuse, stressing that drugs will end their lives in disaster. Also, operatives of the Federal Capital Territory Police Command have arrested 3 members of an armed robbery gang following a distress call of an armed robbery incident in the Gwarinpa area of Abuja. The suspects, Shetima Abubakar, Yakubu Ilya, and Haruna Amadu, were arrested while the stolen Mercedes-Benz GLK 350 ash color laptop computers, mobile phones, and other valuables stolen from victims were recovered. According to the command spokesperson, Josephine Ade, preliminary investigation indicates that about 10 armed robbers invaded residences along the old Gwarinpa Road and robbed victims of their valuables, including the recovered Mercedes-Benz car. Ade explained that the police teams, while the coordination of the command control room trailed the fleeing suspects, surveillance team from Metama Division were equally mobilized and a vehicle was intercepted at Amingo Wuse 2 area of the FCT. He noted that the suspects are currently being interrogated and will be arraigned in court, while efforts have been intensified to arrest other members of the syndicate still at large. In the meantime, 5 persons have been arrested while stealing automotive gas oil, otherwise known as diesel, in Ogun State. It was learned that the suspects were caught in the act by some Ogun State so-safe core operatives at a road construction company in Sion, Obafemi, Owode local government area of the state. The so-safe core spokesperson, Maruf Yusuf, said the 5 men were nabbed by operatives of the corps attached to the Owode divisional headquarters. Yusuf identified the suspect as Abdullah Muhammad, Lambo Lak, Joel Dawab, Well Plus Masua, and Saidu Ibrahim. He said the suspects were arrested at the scene of the crime and they were stealing automotive gas oil called diesel that belongs to the road construction company before the engagement of the Soul Safe Corps personnel protecting the said company. The spokesperson added that 8 kegs, each of having or containing 30 liters of the stolen diesel, were recovered from the suspects. And I welcome you to today's edition of Sunday Extra Pop-Up. It will be recalled that the Director General, Nigerian Institute of Leather and Science Technology, Mohammed Yakubu, had during the week set tongues wagging with the proposal on a planned federal government's plan to ban the consumption of pomo, and Nigerians have reacted, according to OSBC report. Adeyemi Abodere in this Sunday Extra report sought Nigerians' opinion on the ban on the consumption of pomo, even in the face of crunching economic downturn. Please sit back and enjoy Adeyemi Abodere's findings.
The federal government had proposed a legislation to ban the consumption of animal skin, locally known as pomo, in the country. According to sources, the plan was to revive tanneries and promote leather production. Director General, Nigerian Institute of Leather and Science Technology in Zaria, Muhammad Yakubu, who disclosed that the institute was set up to promote leather production as provided in the Agricultural Research Institute Act of 1975, said further that habit of eating animal skin, which has no nutritional value, should be stopped to revive the comatose leather industry and boost the nation's economy. He explained that the institute, in collaboration with stakeholders in the industry, will approach the National Assembly and state government to bring out legislation banning consumption of pomo. However, the proposed legislation on consumption of pomo seems not to have gone down well with many Nigerians who have taken to various channels to berate government over the development. According to them, banning pomo will be a misplaced priority and should be the last thing to bother government for now, as the country is currently facing many challenges that need urgent attention. They wonder what an average Nigerian who cannot afford to buy other delicacies due to economic situation will be consuming if the ban is enforced, saying that pomo is one of the few things that make poor people happy. Speaking with Sunday Extra on the development, a community leader, Alhaji Mustafa Olawoyin, berated those involved in the plan to take pomo off the delicacies of the common man. According to Alhaji Olawoyin, the current economic crunch has made items such as beef, meat and fish practically unreachable for the masses, and the succor provided in pomo is what government is planning to take away. He called on the concerned authorities to perish the idea of banning the consumption of pomo.
I don't think government can think of that at all. One, no government in its right senses will think that whatever is left for the poor masses to exist on this earth should be taken away from them. Pomo is a delicacy. It's cheap, for the people. Those who can take turkey, beef, whatever, with their own money. What about the downtrodden masses, whose only survivor, to eat something that at least a little to keep soul and heart together, is this pomo and this cheap food? How, if you now say you want to ban it, for what? What are the health implications of eating pomo? You have never told us that one. What is the economic value of those that are, working to the trading with this pomo, or what do you call it? And if people now come together because they hate the poor masses and say, no, we are going to ban pomo, I think it's madness. No, but we are going to resist. I'm one of the people that will resist it.
Though the common belief is that consumption of pomo as substitute for meat was dangerous to health and doesn't have any nutritional value to human health. However, a dietitian, Mrs. Oluwakemi Olariwaju, has changed the narrative by disclosing that pomo provides body with important nutrients. According to her, after so many scientific studies, pomo was found to actually contain beneficial nutrients which provides the body with important nutrients such as calories, carbohydrate, protein, fat, fiber, calcium, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, and zinc. She disclosed further that pomo is a good weight loss substitute that is unique with fewer calories and tastes nice when properly prepared. In the light of this, an entrepreneur, Alhaji Kazim Raji, advised government to tap from the potentials available in cow skin by encouraging its exportation to Western countries where the leather industry craved for it and thereby add value to pomo. Alhaji Raji, who is against the ban on consumption of pomo as nutritional substitute for meat, said the downtrodden should be considered before reaching any conclusion.
And mind you, the exportation of this pomo to the part of the world is much valuable than how we are taking it here in Nigeria. I think government of the day should even encourage the exportation of the so-called pomo. At least part of the world who are allowed pomo to be sold, because it fetch the exporter very reasonable amount of money.
Sunday Extra scope that consumers, traders, and experts have separately advised government against further increase of economic hardship the poor masses are currently passing through by putting a cog on the planned ban on the consumption of pomo. For Sunday Extra, Adeyemi Aboderin reporting.
That was a superlative package from Adeyemi Aboderin. Let me just add this African adage that says one man's food is another man's poison. While we're not from our end here condemning the federal government's position on banning pomo's consumption, Sunday Extra will, however, implore the government to provide alternative meat at cheaper prices to those of us who are die-hard fans of pomo and so many others out there. And before I go on Sunday Extra, let me quickly give us the highlights again. President Muhammadu Buhari has commended Nigerians living in the United States for the exemplary roles they are playing in their different areas of endeavor, urging them to continue in that line to earn the respect of their hosts. We reported that the National Association of Nigerian Students (NANS) has threatened to stage a massive protest that will be worse than NSAS if the strike of the Academic Staff Union of Universities continues. And the Police Service Commission (PSC) says it has extended the deadline for the ongoing 2022 Constables recruitment application by 1 month. Sunday Extra put together reactions of Nigerians on proposed plan to ban consumption of pomo by the federal government. And that's all we have for you for today on today's edition of Sunday Extra. And I'm glad to announce to you that it's the last edition in the month of September. Many thanks to the audio officer Olajumoke Oladipo, the secretarial assistant Bola Olaleye, and the secretary producer remains Abimbola Babatude. Many thanks to my producer this evening, Nathaniel Ojegoke, not forgetting to appreciate Latif Agbola for providing the much needed assistance from the sidelines. I remain yours sincerely, Olushayo Babatude, and I wish you a pleasant week ahead. Good evening.